Okay, so welcome back to another Anime Guardian video. So in this video, we're going to be checking out this new update for Anime Guardian. So this is pretty much the Jujutsu Kaisen update, and it's update 14. And yeah, in this video, they pretty much added 5 new units. I don't really know if I can fully show all of them, but they added Kafka from pretty much Honkai. They also added Yuta, which is a battle pass unit. You guys remember had to farm battle pass to actually get him. And then there's also Gojo and Sukuna as well. There's also one other unit, but I don't really remember. But yeah, you pretty much get the material to upgrade Gojo and Sukuna in here. I currently do have Sukuna. I don't have Gojo, but I know where to pretty much. You have to get pretty much Gojo from towers, but I have Sukuna over here. I pretty much got him from this trade shop thing. And pretty much Gojo is, you have to get him through, I believe, towers. Yeah, you have to get him through Cursed Place, so that's how you really get Gojo. And one other thing I forgot to mention is that this new event, at least this Shibuya event, is really difficult if you don't have the right unit. Because with this current team, I mean, I have meta units, I cannot beat the event. So the unit that I really need to beat the event is Sid, which I currently don't have. To get Sid, you pretty much, I believe, have to get him from Raid. It's from Lawless City, 1% drop rate, so I need to honestly farm this event first to get Sid, evolve Sid, and doing the event will be pretty easy. But yeah, pretty much right now I need to farm for Sid, and once I'm done with Sid, I can probably farm this event really easily. But yeah, you guys can see they also have all this material as well, or they also have all these trades as well, pretty cool stuff. And I believe to get the coins, you have to do the new event. But firstly though, we're gonna pretty much beat the Lawless City raid, because honestly, I might have to what was it called? I might have to AFK this because of that 1% drop rate, if I'm gonna be honest. So I might as well just AFK, but I'll do one run with you guys. Alright, let's go. So this one shouldn't really be difficult. After getting Sid, I feel like I should farm materials, and then I'm gonna farm the towers to pretty much get Gojo. I don't really know how many units I'm gonna try to showcase in this video. I might try to get all of them, but that's gonna take a long time, and this video might come out, this update drops on Saturday. It might come out the following week, so I'm not too sure. It really depends on how lucky I get, I guess. I might have to macro this, but this one shouldn't really be too difficult. Let me see if I can honestly win this one, I think. So it shouldn't really be too bad. How much HP? Yeah, they only have that much HP. I don't know how many waves this boss has, but or the stage has, but it shouldn't really be that difficult, if I'm gonna be honest. And yeah, that's really it. Okay, so it's actually pretty damn easy. So yeah, pretty much I'm gonna farm this until I get Sid, and when I get him, I'll pretty much be back.
Okay, so we are pretty much back now. I finished farming, or I finished the quest, or the material that is needed for Sid. So I pretty much go to evolution over here, and once we open Sid, yeah, I was able to get Sid pretty quickly. Pretty much, you guys can see we have the materials, pretty nice stuff. It didn't really take that long. It only took maybe 2 hours to 3 hours to really get everything, if I'm gonna be honest, so it wasn't that bad. I'm also gonna try to get a good probably Exceliear on Sid real quick, and yeah. Okay, so it took 3k rerolls roughly to get it, but hey, at least we were able to get Exceliear on him. And yeah, I was grinding a ton of those trait rerolls, so I don't have to worry about honestly trait rerolls for a pretty long time, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, Sid is over here. We're also gonna feed him some food as well. I might try to get him Exodia, or not Exodia, but I might try to get him a also good artifact as well. I'm also gonna try to roll for some good. Okay, why is my camera like that? Okay, I don't really know what happened, but hey, we are back. But what I was gonna say was I might try to get a good honestly stat on this unit, if I'm gonna be honest. Let's see if we can get any good stat, because honestly, for the new event, stat-wise, it doesn't really matter too much, if I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, we're gonna reroll a ton, because why not? Alright, there you go. I'll honestly take these stats for now. And yeah, this team should honestly... Okay, I don't know why my game is bugged now after, I guess, all that. Yeah, my game is like, okay, we're back. All right, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna unequip all my units. So for the new event, from what I have seen, at least by a video, I might link it in the description below, but pretty much to beat the new event, all you really need is like 3 units. So it's actually pretty easy, if I'm gonna be honest. So you need Robin, I'm pretty sure at least. You need Robin, and then you pretty much need Senku. Okay, so yeah, that's really it, I believe. So after that, you should be able to beat the event. It is actually pretty easy if you have Sid. I'm not sure if you're able to beat it without Sid, if I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so we are pretty much in this game mode right now. Okay, so pretty simple stuff. All you're gonna do is you're gonna pretty much work on Sid real quick. I don't know why it does that, but okay, I guess. But pretty much you're gonna work on, not Sid, but my bad, you're gonna work on Senku first. Your goal is to max out pretty much Robin, and once you max out Robin, you can place down Sid. Or actually, you're gonna place down Sid first, and you're gonna place down Robin. So now you're pretty much gonna work on Senku. You're gonna get him to probably like upgrade 4 or 5, and he should be good to go, if I'm gonna be honest. So one more upgrade and Sid should be good to go. Now you're pretty much gonna only max out Robin, because if you guys don't know, Robin has the ability where pretty much if she's fully maxed out, pretty much your whole team gets maxed, which is kind of insane, if I'm gonna be honest. You guys can see Sid's currently upgrade 1, but once you max out Robin, look at Sid, he's fully maxed out, which is kind of insane. And he also has this passive as well. Pretty much kills grant 2% atomic power, and killing a boss grants 5%. Each kill increases its damage up to 30%. Pretty nice. Nuclear Ascension, each attack increases atomic power by 5%, up to a max of 300%. Pretty good. When using Atomic Universe ability, the accumulated atomic power buffs your damage. After the skill ends, damage returns to normal and atomic power resets to 0. In Quantum Reboot, each use of Atomic Universe reduces cooldown progressively. First use by 5%, second use by 10%, third use by 15%, and fourth use. The ability activates immediately. Okay, I guess. So yeah, your goal, I'm assuming, is pretty much get Sid to pretty much kill as much enemy as possible. You guys can see the stack is currently going up. I actually don't know how far the stack can go up to. I'm assuming it can go up pretty high, unless 90% is the only, I guess, the highest you can go, but maybe you can go higher. I'm not too sure myself, if I'm gonna be honest. It's fine, Magaraha, you know, he moves, that's fine with us. But our goal is pretty much to kill all these enemies down here, and then now it should be good enough to pop the ability. So we can use like Atomic Universe, not to auto. We should be doing some crazy damage now. Let's see if we're able to kill. Yeah, look at all that. Okay, so pretty nice stuff. And now Sukuna, we're doing damage to him. He should die, I think. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty much it. So it's pretty simple. I'm probably gonna farm this for honestly a while until I get enough materials, and honestly we should have enough to, you know, upgrade or pretty much evolve Gojo and Sukuna. Okay, so after pretty much a bunch of farmings, we are pretty much back now. So yeah, we should be able to evolve the unit, but first we're gonna get the new Kafka unit. Pretty much I already spin, because you can also craft the unit if you really want to. You pretty much just need 25 or 250 mystic coins, 200 real traits, and just all these parts. And you can get Kafka's parts pretty easily if you are able to beat the new event. But we should be able to do it. Sacrifice successful, and I think we got the unit. Let's double check. Yep, there we go. Okay, pretty nice stuff. I'm gonna max her out as well real quick. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so now pretty much what I really need to do is get reroll traits on all these, or try to reroll for good traits on all these units except for Sukuna. So I don't think she has like a evolution. Yeah, Kafka does not have evolution. Okay, that's fine with us. So Gojo, I also have enough material. You guys can see I pretty much AFK farmed like this like event pretty much overnight. So there we go. Yep, we got Gojo final limited, pretty nice stuff. And then we also have Sukuna as well, wherever he is. There you go. And I got Sukuna through coins. I got Gojo through trading. I trade someone on my Giselle character. Pretty much this character, if I can find her real quick. yeah, this character I traded one for Gojo, which I honestly will take. Now, pretty much we have I believe we have all the units, right? Yeah, we also got Yuta as well. I'm gonna get honestly like Exceliear on all these units real quick, and we're also gonna try to get good stats as well. So once I'm done with that, I'll pretty much be back. Okay, so we are pretty much back now after doing all that trade reroll and stats reroll. I got some decent stats on these units. You guys can see they're pretty much second to the best one, I guess. Second to the best one. I have one of like the best stats, I guess, on SPA. Second to best ones, and one of like the best ones. Okay, but anyways, now we're pretty much gonna go into like these infinite modes, and we're gonna be showcasing these units. I'm pretty much gonna be showcase these units, yeah, of course, with Exceliear traits. So I'm gonna showcase each of the unit first, and then we're gonna be showcasing it with Robin, pretty much max, because she pretty much is a buffer. So yeah, 75% buff, so we're gonna be showcasing that as well. But anyways, with that said, I'm pretty much gonna hop into infinite mode, and yeah, we're gonna showcase the units. Okay, so we're gonna be pretty much showcasing Kafka first. Oh, she has a pretty massive range, if I'm gonna be honest. Okay, animation looks something like that. Pretty simple stuff. He also has the ultimate, which and passive I'll go through later. But yeah, she has a lot of upgrade and spider combo. Okay, looks something like that. Animation wise, they're pretty simple but pretty clean as well. Yeah, pretty simple animation but pretty clean. And then max her out. Yeah, she doesn't have any more of like new animations. Okay, so now let's go through the passive. So alright, so the first one is called this order. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that because I'm probably gonna get it wrong. Each time Kafka attacks, there's a 10% chance to charm enemies. A charm enemy will attack its own ally with one attack, dealing 15% of its own max HP as damage. Charm enemy can also collide with other enemy, causing them to take damage. Boss enemies cannot be charmed. Okay, when Kafka attacks enemies are inflicted with damage over time if damage effects. Shock, burn, bleed. Her attacks deal 100% increased damage. Okay, pretty good stuff. So I'm assuming this charm thing pretty much means, yeah, the enemy attacks their own like enemies, I guess. Alright, so next ability called Resonant Shock. So every time Kafka attacks, enemy have a 20% chance to be inflicted with shock, which deals 75% of Kafka's attack as damage every second for 5 seconds. That's actually quite good. If a shock enemy is attacked again, Kafka deals an additional 30% damage. Enemy inflicted by shock are stunned for the entire duration of shock. Okay, so stunned for 5 seconds, I'm assuming. If a shock enemy survives until the shock ends, it will explode, dealing 150% of Kafka's attack as AoE damage. Okay, pretty good. Kafka seems definitely like a damage over time unit. I mean, with the shock ability, with all these buffs, or all these abilities, so yeah, she seems like a damage over time unit. Okay, so next ability, or this ability is called Uzi Ultimate. Okay, so increase her own damage by 500% and rapidly attacks across the entire map. After attack ends, the bonus damage returns to normal. So does she, I mean, I'm not really sure how fast she attacks unless it shows. Okay, the animation looks pretty sick. I don't have the music on because I'm assuming it's copyrighted, but it looks pretty cool. Cooldown is a bit long, so just keep that in mind. I actually did not see how much damage she gained, but oh, that was my bad. But anyways, I'll still showcase her stats later, but yeah, that's pretty much Kafka. I'm gonna go through Yuta next. So Yuta also has a pretty big AoE. Okay, animation is pretty simple as well. Curse energy, also all that. I'm gonna go through it later. Alright, so he also gets a new attack. Let's check this one out. He also has these, I guess, abilities as well. Or, no, never mind. That's Kafka's ability. The charm thing. Okay, so now let's max him out. There we go. Okay, so pretty nice stuff. So passive, Curse Weakling. Okay, so 2 abilities, or 2 passive. Whenever an enemy gains Curse Mark, there's a 10% chance to apply a weakened curse. Same as Sukuna, okay, causing the target to take 20% more damage for 5 seconds. When Yuta attacks a boss type enemy, his damage increased by 125%. Total is 2.25x, so does it increase twice? Like maybe if he attacks a boss twice, it'll increase by that much. I'm assuming that's how it works, but I could be wrong. So on every attack, Yuta applies Curse Mark to a target. Re-hitting the same target adds a stack. Stack naturally expires after 10 seconds. Yuta deals 10% more damage per Curse Mark. That's pretty good. So 2 stacks total, 20% more damage. Okay, when the target no longer has curse mark, the bonus returns to normal. Yep. Each attack also has a 10% chance of inflicting black damage, deals 2.5 times damage, and a 15% chance for critical hit. Okay, pretty decent stuff. He also seems like he's like a multiplier unit, honestly. He also does have crit, which honestly pretty nice. You guys can see this is pretty much like the curse energy and stuff. Alright, so Yuta also has a curse energy ability, so randomly increase her own attack, or her own damage between 1000% to 2500%, then rapidly attacks across the entire map. After the damage and the bonus damage returns to normal. Okay, let's use this one. Damn, 13 million, how much was that increased by? I personally don't know, but you guys saw that, right? That was like 13 million? Yeah, damn. Okay, I cannot tell how much that increased by, but yeah, that was actually a lot of damage. 13 million, it's pretty insane having the cooldown as long, so I guess there's that downside, but still pretty good stuff. Alright, now we're gonna go through Gojo, and then we're gonna showcase Sukuna. Okay, so he does that hollow purple thing, pretty sick stuff. Infinite Void, yeah, we're gonna go through this later, passive as well. Upgrade him, and he also gets in full AoE. Okay, we'll actually take that. Damage wise is pretty good. 2 million is actually pretty decent, and he also is like full AoE with the honestly 3.1 SPA. That's pretty damn insane, bro. Like 3.1 SPA with full AoE. Damn. Okay. Alright, so Limitless Domain. This unit is immune to stun in stages where the boss can attack the unit. This unit takes no damage. Okay, yes, immune to stun. Alright, pretty cool stuff. Infinity Growth. Each attack on normal enemy gains 5% attack, max is 25%, so yeah, his damage is increasing. Each attack on boss grants 5% attack, up to 25% as well, and deals 125% boss damage. After each wave gains 5% attack, max is 25%, and deals 200 damage against cursed enemies. So Yuta and Gojo, I'm assuming they work pretty well together. And yeah, you guys can see the damage is going up. Pretty insane stuff. So he gets like a 75% damage buff with like all these stuff. Alright, so he pretty much has a manual ability as well. Infinity Void 2, 500% damage and 20% attack range. Stops enemy for a long time. Okay, so let's use it. Domain expansion. Okay, pretty cool. Ooh, and he also goes into his Endless Void thing. He's pretty sick, honestly. In terms of animation, it looks pretty cool. I wish they had like a full cutscene. I mean, they don't, but hey, it looks pretty sick. And the enemies are stunned. Yeah, actually, all the enemy that pretty much wasn't dead was stunned. But yeah, all the enemy that spawned isn't stunned. But pretty good stuff. And 9.5 million with full AoE is pretty damn insane. And combine that with Yuta, he gets 200% more damage. Okay, that's honestly pretty insane of a character. Gojo's actually pretty good, if I'm gonna be honest. Alright, so now we're pretty much going to be showcasing Sukuna. Also pretty decent of a big, pretty big of like a range and stuff. Actually, yeah, somewhat big. Alright, so this is pretty much his cleave ability. Now let's upgrade this distortion cleavers. Okay, let's check out this one. Okay, pretty cool. Also full AoE as well. Pretty nice. Damage in terms of damage and SPA, pretty similar to Gojo, if I'm going to be honest. Pretty good as well. He also does 10% bleed. Okay. So King of Curses on hit has a 9% chance of applying. Okay, this thing's too dark, I cannot see it. Targets hit are slowed for 1 second, so apply slow and remove enemy shield. At final upgrade, Sukuna bleed increase from 10% to 15% damage. Each attack deals 99% boss damage. Okay, pretty good. Malevolent Chevrons, so deals 99% damage to enemy already inflicted by bleed. On hit, inflicts curse and apply bleed equal to 10% of damage over 5 seconds. Okay, that's actually pretty nice. Actually works with Gojo as well because of like the curse ability. Any bleed from Sukuna has a 1% chance of instant slain if their HP is below 25%. Yeah, that's typically not gonna happen, but hey, that 1% could work technically. Alright, so Control Domain, so increase damage by 500% and continuously attack the entire map. Okay, Magaraha, summon Magaraha to rampage and attacks enemy randomly, targeting all in all modes. So okay, damn, pretty insane. Actually, we're gonna use this you know what, I don't think you can use multiple domains at the same time, so let me see if Kafka's on cooldown now. Actually, we're going to be showcasing just, I guess, you know what, I'm just going to be showcasing Sukuna's ability first, and then we're going to go through all the other characters' abilities with pretty much the buff. So, okay, so we activate Control. He goes into his Malevolent Shrine. Alright, Magaraha, where is it? Let's see, yeah, Sukuna deals, yeah, continuous damage. Continuous damage, I'm assuming is like 0.01 maybe, but okay, this has infinite cooldown. So, alright. Infinite cooldown, I guess, unless is Magaraha summoned? Okay, Magaraha is not summoned. Unless he's like, okay, he's all the way over there. Okay, that's at least good to know. Magaraha deals continuous damage to enemy. Yeah, pretty OP stuff, if I'm gonna be honest. Okay, but anyways, we're gonna max out Robin. We're gonna see Sukuna's stats with 75% damage. Yeah, 2.7 million. That's actually quite good, if I'm gonna be honest. So now Gojo, he does 2.5 million, but of course, every time he attacks, he pretty much becomes buffed. So I'm gonna place him over here actually. So yeah, every time he attacks, he becomes buff, and he also has this Infinite Void ability as well, which 9.6 million. I'm not sure if his damage. Okay, so it's gonna keep on increasing. I'm assuming it can go up to 10 million. Yeah, it's gonna go up just by a little bit more, maybe to 11 million possibly, because like every waves, and just I guess every time he hits bosses and normal enemies as well. So lots of animations happening. I might turn it off if I'm gonna be honest, because there's way too much visual effects. Yeah, after this ends, but pretty much you guys saw that. It's pretty insane. I don't even know what's happening at the same time, because I don't know where I'm going. You guys see like this Infinite Void thing? Yeah, or Unlimited Void, my bad. But I cannot tell what is like around me. But anyways, Kafka's stats. Okay, so we're gonna max her out real quick. Oh, she already maxed out. Yeah, 1.7 million. Before she was doing like I think 900k. So that's actually quite good. So let's ultimate ability buffs her damage by 500%. Let's check this one out. Okay, cannot be used in second. Okay, give me a second. Alright, also one other thing is that Magaraha stays forever, I think, because he's still over here. So I'm assuming he's like a forever type of unit. But anyways, let's activate ultimate. Yeah, 6.6 million. That's quite good if I'm gonna be honest. Without the buff, she's doing 5.9. So it's some minor buffs, but honestly we'll take these buffs because it's actually quite good. But that's pretty much her ability. Now last one is pretty much Yuta. Yuta will honestly be quite insane, I think, because honestly with his, okay, without the buff, how much damage is he doing? Yeah, 800k, but with the buff he's pretty much doing 1.7 million, I think, or 1.5 million. But if we're able to get the 2500% of this damage buff off, you will be doing quite a lot of damage. So let's see though. Yeah, 15 million, pretty insane stuff. I think he might be one of the highest damage dealers in the game currently. Maybe I could be wrong, but yeah, his damage is quite good. I mean, overall he's a pretty good unit, and plus he's a battle pass unit, so he's really easy to get. You guys can just AFK farm like honestly infinite mode or any other game modes, and getting him is honestly one of the easiest thing ever. Plus he's an OP unit. I mean, if you get Exceliear on him, you're gonna be honestly clearing games like crazy. But yeah, anyways, with that said, that's really it for these units. I know there's like one other unit I didn't showcase, but honestly I don't really care too much about that character because I personally haven't watched that anime yet. I think it's Kogeus or Kogenesis. I honestly don't know the name, but anyways, with that said, I'll end out the video here, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Guardian showcase and update.